How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves and welcome back to a brand new match preview on the channel. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe, and today we are back for a new match preview as Wolves will be preparing to take on Chelsea this week. Loads of football happening over the next couple of weeks or so. Loads of content, so be sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Today's match preview is brought to you by our partners over at One Football. Be sure to go and check those guys out if you haven't already. Fantastic football app to check out. A link to it is in the top of the description down below. If you don't already use a football app, well, check out One Football. Live scores, live team news, match facts ahead of the game as well. Loads of football news catered to whichever clubs you select as well when first downloading the app. So One Football, a link to them is in the top of the description down below. And guys, it's going to be a really intriguing game, I think, because lots of Wolves fans desperate to see us get back to winning ways. Against, obviously, Aston Villa, we fell to that narrow one-goal defeat. 1-0, it finished in the end with a late penalty. But look, the performance wasn't ridiculously bad, was it? I think, there were a lot of Villa fans as well. Fair play to the Villa fans for jumping in the comment section down below, the reaction, and the fans react, saying that, you know what, it was such a close game, and I think it was very harsh. And I think a draw probably would have been a fair result, but if you were going to pick a winner out of that game, it was going to be Wolves. So a real bit of a shock, really, to the system when we conceded that late penalty. And a lot of people obviously calling for Nelson Semedo and so on, and people stupidly, trying to almost call for the sack of Nuno. I don't want Nuno out, but Nuno shouldn't be sacked, but those sort of people there, you obviously do if you're making comments like that. So, look, I think people now, especially with the injury of Raul Jimenez, I think it's come to, and with some of the signings that we've made, it is a little bit frustrating because I think as Wolves fans, we see teams that are ahead of us in the table, like your West Hams and so on, and Wolves really should be better than them or higher than them in the table, really, you would think and hope. But with a couple of injuries, the Johnny injury, however, we did have a transfer window. We knew that happened. And obviously with the injury of Raul Jimenez, I think if Wolves genuinely still want to finish top 7, top 8, well, get into Europe full stop this season, I think we need to invest a little bit in the transfer window. Fabio Silva came so close, didn't he, the other game and against Villa, and I thought, he could have got his first team goal there for Wolves, but wasn't quite to be. So, but I think the back four experiment is something worth sticking with. I've seen a couple of people on social media maybe suggesting we should go back to a back five. I think if we went with the back five, I think we need to change how we play going forward and the fluidity of the system and so on. But I think the back four at the moment for me is something that I'm okay with. You look at our record, is 1 win, 1 draw and 2 defeats of it. The 1 defeat to Liverpool was disappointing. The game against Villa we could have so easily won, and we do need to stick with that, and it'll be very interesting to see how Nuno lines up and sets up. Do we need some fresh faces now? Of course, João Moutinho was well suspended for that game after his second yellow, and you know what? You remember 2 years back, this sort of time of the season against Chelsea at Molineux, it was a turning point for our season and for a lot of players in that team as well. So I'm hoping that this will have a similar sort of effect because, we're so close. I think everyone can see the potential in that back four system, and it just needs someone to create those chances, or someone to take a little bit more risks, or someone just to press a button and for Wolves to click and it all to go well, because I think there's real potential in there. But does it need a shake-up? Possibly. You got people like, even the lads in the 23s today playing, you got some of those lads scratching and hoping to perform. Of course, it's because they're playing today, it seems unlikely that they're going to be in the first team. But do you want to add a bit more steel into the middle? Could you bring the likes of Owen Otasawi in there alongside someone like Dendoncker? Neves could sort of slot straight in next to Dendoncker again. Do you bring Neto and Podence onto the wings and have someone like Vitinha in there as well? There's so many options for Nuno, so many headaches, and I think it's just for him trying to gain the trust of players, or almost the players gaining his trust, that he can trust them on the pitch, and especially against Chelsea, who've got so many big and powerful and dangerous players, and there were a lot of people's favourites to be challenging for the title this season. There's still a long way to go. They could still definitely do that with some of the players that they've signed. So It's going to be a tricky, very tricky game. We're going to get their thoughts anyway. The Chelsea perspective from Craigo28. He's a Chelsea FC fan and YouTuber, and this is his thoughts ahead of the game.
Yes, people, what's going on? Hope you are all good. My name is Ian from Craigo28 Sport, and I'm going to be doing your preview for the Wolves versus Chelsea game. Now, of course, massive Chelsea fan myself. This is a big game for us. Obviously, not been quite the run of games we were hoping for. We started off really, really well in the season and got a couple of points here and there. We've got this lovely, lovely run of keeping clean sheets, but that's all kind of changed in the last few weeks. Stupid goal given away against Leeds, then get a 0-0 against Tottenham. It's good, but not probably quite where we should be. And then, of course, we go and drop points to Everton. So it's been a bit of a rollercoaster the last few weeks for Chelsea. Managed to win the Champions League group. So there's highs, but there's definitely been lower points as well. And I think it's kind of very similar for Wolves. You're not quite where you want to be. Very good side, of course. You've now lost a few people. Jimenez is a massive loss. I had him in my fantasy team. Great player for you guys. It's going to be a tough one for you to play without him, for not even against us, but throughout the remainder of however long he's out for. Of course, best wishes to him. But this is a game that we need to win. This is a game that you need to win, and I think it would probably mean more for you to win than it would us. That's dangerous for us. I think that you really need to kind of kick up the backside, and I think that obviously you're missing a few people this week or tomorrow night, I should say. But are you going to get it done? That's the big question. I think Chelsea, we're also missing a few people. I think we can get it done, of course. And I think it's going to be a really, really tight game. I think it's going to be one of those 2-1 either way kind of scenarios. I like the way that Wolves are playing. I like Nuno. I think he's got a great style of football, a great tactical mindset. And you kind of hope that eventually he can push on and really get Wolves back to where they should be. But are they going to do it right now is a big question. And I think Chelsea, us obviously coming off a bad result, we need to kick on. And we've got a little bit of a luck, of course, with Liverpool dropping points, Tottenham dropping points. But we have to kick on ourselves. We've got a busy period coming up. Not the result we wanted, but we have to try and bounce back from it. Same thing for you guys. It's all about bounce back. That is the main thing we all need to take from this. For me, 2-1 Chelsea. I will predict it. I'll sit with my Blue Boys. But again, I think you're a very decent side, and I think you're going to give us a very decent test. Are you going to be able to do it for 90 minutes? I'm not too sure. You're in the Europa League quarterfinals, whatever it was, for a reason. You're a decent side. I wish you all the best for the season, just not tomorrow night. Take care, stay safe. Make sure you watch Craigo28 football. And hopefully it's a Blue Boys win. Come on!
Well, a big thanks to Craig for that one. You can find his links in the description down below. Predicted lineup, but like I've said, guys, it's so difficult to predict now. I think we'll stick with the four at the back. I think we'll stick with. Well, the back four is an interesting one as well, because obviously Willy Bolly was dropped in. I felt the back four did an okay job. Surely, though, I was quite shocked by the dropping of Willy Bolly. But surely if you would have dropped either of those back two after the Liverpool game, it would have been Cody. But obviously, Nuno likes his leadership in there. I think Bolly will come back in for Saïs. I think we'll go with a back four. Semedo will keep his place. I think we'll see Cody, Bolly and Marçal in there. I think Neves will come in for Dendoncker, and then I think he'll start the same front four. I think he'll start Podence, Neto, Adama and Fabio Silva. Obviously, Patricio in goal as well. I think that's the system we'll go with. Because of the suspension of Moutinho, could we see Wolves go back to the back five, introduce another player and try and push the wing-backs up a little bit more? Who knows? But look, I think it's still so early to write off the back four experiment, this plan B, this Wolves 4.0, whatever you want to call it, under Nuno. And this could be a big turning point. If Wolves get something out of the game against Chelsea, a lot of people will be shut up after some of the stupidity I saw on social media after the game on Saturday. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, I'll be back with my reaction, and the fans will give their reactions after the game. If you want to get your thoughts in on the fans' react, just drop me a message or Talking Walls a message on Twitter @TalkingWalls, or drop us an email as well. And yeah, we'll be sure to get you on. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. And until next time, we'll see you all very, very soon.